idea is to look at this Temple of Vedic Planetarium. I did spend some time on the website that they have created for specifically for the TOBP, and also on there is one website for Mayapur also. I went through all the they have posted some progress photographs and all that. So I have been able to get a better idea of the kind of work that is required. So I hope we are able to take off from that. So before we get into that, I just wanted to formally introduce our organization, Green Sketch Consultants, to you. I know we have been talking in general terms, but I've never had the opportunity to kind of talk about ourselves so much. So basically, I'm an architect. I have done my master's in architecture in energy and environmental studies. So I have been interested in this green building since I started my architecture. At that time when I did, this was in 2008. It was quite a new sort of a field to be going into. And fortunately, a field that has picked up very well over the past 20 odd years or so. Then I have been working in a couple of, I had worked in EN3, which is a green consulting company similar to this. Then I have done some freelance work. And in 2014, me and my father, Captain Krishnan, we have decided to start this as a startup organization looking at specifically only green building solutions. So we are very focused on providing any activities related to green buildings, green built environments, and green spaces, rather than looking at any other sort of work that we are going to do. So I have all the various qualifications, lead, Griha, IGBC, well, and all that. Almost 14, 15 plus years of experience now I have got with me. My father is the partner in the organization. He takes care of the management side and the human resources side. He is also a retired army captain. So he was in the Signal Corps. And then after that, he has worked in various other organizations. And when I wanted to do this, he felt that it might be better to join up with me so that he can also support me. And he is a very key advisor to us, who has a very good understanding of the way governments and large bureaucratic organizations work and all that, which has helped us in as part of our overall startup journey to this state. So what in all we do? So right now, anything related to sustainability, passive design and all that, we have the capability to do it. All the various simulations we have done, in Mavit we have done it. We have done complete facilitation for various ratings, including LEED, IGBC, Griha, Edge, Well, SCDAMA, whatever it is. We have even worked specifically on projects for only water saving, only shading, only landscaping, only materials and all that. We have also partnered with a few organizations to do the energy audits for existing buildings. I'm also a lead accredited professional in operations and maintenance, specifically for existing buildings. We have done life cycle cost analysis, especially there's a very project that we are proud of, which I'll show you. We even work with a couple of product companies to work on their LCAs and environmental product declarations and all that. And right now, since this is picking up, we are also working in the field of environmental social governance policy. And we have a couple of team members who are qualified in that area also and who support us in this situation. So these are the major works that we carry out. Coming to the projects that we have done. We have a large clientele in Bangladesh where we work on garments factories. So we have done a lot of unique projects in Bangladesh, and which we are very proud of. To name a few, we have done a bank for Bangladesh Infrastructure Finance Fund, and similarly an office space for Guardian Life Insurance. Aman Graphics, Cute Dress, Alpha Clothing, and all Deco Group are all garment factories. We are working with Vellore International School. There is a residential school which is coming up in Chennai, which is being developed by VIT Group. We are working on that. With the UAE, we have worked on a petrol station, which is the picture over here on the bottom. which is called Enoch Futuristic Station. There we have worked on their lead platinum, as well as we have done a life cycle analysis for them, which is the first time a project in lead have done life cycle analysis. Also, one project that we are very proud of right now, we are working with Chennai Corporation's Smart Cities Command and Control Center that is targeted for both lead and IGBC platinums registered under both. And that project is coming up, and there have been a lot of interventions done on that part also. Similarly, with IGBC, we have done many projects. Some of the projects that we are very proud of course, Chettinad Academy of Research and Education, which we did with Krishna sir. Then this International Tech Park Bangalore. We have worked with Page Industries, who manufactures jockey branded garments. They are in Hassan. Then State Bank of India, Hayworth, ICF, VIT, Asian Paints, Atreya Hospitals. These are all some of our IGBC clients who have done IGBC certification along with us. We have supported them. So that capability, I'm sure you don't doubt it upon. We also have a very big government clientele base. So we are doing many government projects, predominantly with CPWD, Central Public Works Department, most of which we have gotten through various tenders and all of that. And these are the ones which are certified in National Institute of Technology. Buildings are Griha 4-star certified. Post Office in Puducherry, International Students Hostel inside Jipmer, Helicopter Factory in Tumkur, SJVN, which is a power company in it's a PSU from Shimla that has got Griha 4-star. And then we are doing many for Jipmer, ICMR, Software Technology Parks of India. All these projects are ongoing with Griha certification. Mostly government projects tend to go with Griha certification. So these are some of our projects. We have done almost 75 plus energy simulation projects. Most of our projects, without even if there's a requirement or no, we do the energy simulation because that is a predominant value add for us. And we have also worked on many daylight simulations. We have done shading analysis. We have done life cycle cost analysis and all that. So from the software or digital capability, there is nothing to be doubted. We feel we have proved more than enough on this. We are also Griha empaneled consultants. We have gone through the empanelment process and we are Griha empaneled consultants. And these are some of my qualification certificates. So this is just a brief on what we are, who we are, just to kind of have it at the back of the mind, so that once we go ahead, we can discuss it. I'll take a pause here. Do you want to ask me something, or shall I
continue?
Oh, thank you. So from the discussions that we had that day on Saturday, these are the predominant kind of problem statements that I could note down. So I have tried to put up one slide for each. The first thing is kind of a global recognition. So what I can feel, mostly not from your discussion, but more from the website, kind of going through the website and all that, the message of TOVP and Mayapur, the kind of place that is, the kind of development that is happening, we feel that the amount of people that it is reaching, the sustainability measures must also stand as examples for say similar I won't even say similar projects, but for everyday people. So the place itself is a place where you come for to find peace, or whatever your these things may be, your ambitions may be, but it is a place from which I feel that the devotees who visit there should take away the factor of sustainability as part of their everyday life. So this global recognition, or kind of showcasing the project as a green project, is, we feel, should be one of the key problem statements that we are looking at going ahead. Definitely the recognition and all comes through the certification that we are going in for, but the certification should not be just kind of a piece of paper or a plaque mounted on the wall. but real interventions from which we can kind of emulate and follow in other places. That is one thing which we feel we should work on as we do this project. The next thing is, this is our strength area, which is simulations. And the simulation should not be just to kind of satisfy IGBC. That is easily doable, that anybody can do that. But more in terms of doing some calibrated work to kind of keep on changing the parameters until we meet with what is actually going on, and then see how we can make things better from there. So we have done some calibrated work also, which also I will talk about in the coming slides. Then the other point that I felt when Dr. Hari was talking about was importantly on the templates. That is, we have to have some kind of standardization so that our life becomes easier, because the scale of the project is so huge that if there is not a standardization, if there is no template, if there are no templates to follow or any things to do, kind of an SOP kind of thing, then it's going to be very hard to implement whatever we are trying to do here. So that is something which we are looking at. Then we are looking at training and capacity building. So since this project is so huge and so many people are going to be working onto it, it will be insufficient if only 3 or 4 people like you and me who are already trained in this are talking about it. So each and every person on the ground must talk about this. For this too, we have done some work and we have some ideas also which I'll share with you. And then of course ideas and innovations about doing small things that are not part of the rating system, are not part of the common green things, but something which is uniquely suited for this unique project. So of course that has to be brainstormed, but I would like to talk about a couple of projects that we have already done on how we have done it. So I'll just move on. So coming to global recognition. So we have to work or do something implement certain ideas where it is more in terms of a comprehensive activity rather than a piecemeal activity. Dr. Hari, with apologies to IGBC, I do find that IGBC sometimes is very piecemeal. That is, they have, 2A, you got 1 point, 2B, you got 1 point, but there is no connection between A and B sometimes, and not sometimes, lot of times. So we feel that if we want this global recognition, comprehensiveness has to come into the picture. When I was reading up about this, I also came to know that this Govardhan Eco Village, which is also a village by similar kind of, I think it's much smaller in scale, of course, is there near Bombay, which is also being managed by ISKCON, if I'm not wrong. So in that place, they have taken certain comprehensive innovations. That is a Griha 5-star certified project, where I could see that the comprehensiveness had come into picture. And when comprehensiveness comes, then global recognition also comes. So I had heard about Govardhan Eco Village, but I didn't know that it was Griha certified. And I didn't know it was being managed by ISKCON. So that is something that we learn as we go. And then I realized, okay, I knew Govardhan Eco Village was an experimental, was a unique sort of a place. That is the recognition which I feel that TO, BP or Mayapur should get, rather than it is IGBC certified or it is managed by ISKCON. Rather than that name itself should stand out for the people who are visiting there. Some of the projects where we worked on.
Let me clarify to you that Govardhan is an IGBC certified project.
Is it?
They took something from
Griha. People are claiming it's Griha 5-star certified.
They are saying something, but I know that it is this one and Wada also. There was a project in Pune, Wada area, and then there are 2 temples in Bombay, Juhu and the other one.
Okay.
All of these are IGBC certified. Okay, as place of worship. Then I think Govardhan went for some other rating, campus or green campus rating, something like that.
Okay.
Now Griha's role, I think, came in the beginning. Then after that, I don't know what happened. Then IGBC stepped in. In fact, every year Anand is going there to Govardhan.
Anand is going there. Okay, I did not.
Just to clarify.
But I will tell you that Govardhan Eco Village as a project, regardless of the certification, is well recognized in institutional circles. I also take up certain lecturing and teaching assignments, and I have constantly seen Govardhan Eco Village being presented as a case study. But I didn't know it was being managed by ISKCON, and I didn't know that it was green certified project. That is something which I can.
That is the credit for doing the success, like you said, the rating certification is the easy part.
Yes.
The actual doing,
Actually,
in their case, the credit goes to somebody called Gaurang Das Prabhu. In fact, our Krishna sir also knows him very well.
Oh, nice, nice. So I have studied extensively about that project. I have heard a lot about it, and especially they have very comprehensive waste management, very comprehensive water management, and all that. So some similar work which we have done, maybe not along the same scale, but we have worked on a comprehensive life cycle cost analysis for the Enoch Futuristic Station. We have worked with Asian Paint Shri Perambudur, where we have done a comprehensive water management study for them, including water for landscaping, rainwater harvesting, water through the fixtures and all that. Except for processed water, which they themselves optimize, all other water we have helped them to manage it comprehensively, think about it comprehensively.
Which company is this?
Asian Paints, Shri Perambudur.
Shri Perambudur. You said some Perambudur, something else?
No. Shri Perambudur. Chennai. It's near Chennai.
That is.
Then we have done International Tech Park Chennai, where we are working with the net zero waste. Tomorrow there is a site visit happening for that project as well. So comprehensive waste management, you have been working for the past 3-4 months now on that part. When we did this HAL helicopter factory, along with CPWD, we are working on a construction resource tracking. So a lot of times we don't know how much of electricity, how much of water goes into construction per se. So we do the construction. After the construction, we have many tools to estimate how much water, how much energy, and all that. But during the construction, they wanted to start tracking that, start estimating that. So that is something that we are now doing in that project. Earlier, 2 phases have already been completed. Now the 3rd phase is going on. So we are working on that. And in Bangladesh, where there are garment factories are a big issue, there we have conducted comprehensive fresh air studies. So that is something which they miss out on when they do all these spaces and all that. There are many cramped spaces with a lot of people and all that. There are fire hazards and all that. So using, they do LEED predominantly. Using LEED's fresh air guidelines, we have been able to enhance the air quality inside various garment factories by just doing little bit of brainstorming on how we can bring in fresh air, what we can do, what are the cross ventilation methods and all that. So when we do something comprehensively, we feel then it talks for itself. Then we don't the certificate just is a follow up on that. It is not because of it, but the certification happens because of the green measures, not the other way around. So that is something that we want to implement in TOVP and see how we can look at things comprehensively. This may require a lot of brainstorming sessions, additional expertise to be pulled in, but all of those things we are more than willing to coordinate and see how that goes. So this is something, this is just the first problem statement that I wanted to present. The next problem statement that we are looking at is in terms of simulation. Like I said, we have any simulation, you name it, we can do it. We have the capability, we have the staff, we have the trained personnel and everything. So predominantly we have done simulations for energy, daylight, wind, thermal, road and insulation. We have to do what is known as a calibrated simulation. That is, it is not just in terms of just simply doing something, putting the actual base case values and saying how much percentage are reduced, but actually looking at what would happen when we start functioning. So this would mean to start running the simulation and keep giving inputs as things goes. And for each and every small input, we have to see which one is better. And sometimes it does turn out that what you think might be a better idea might not actually be a better idea. You may feel that, you know, having some large panes of glass will bring in good daylight, but it might cause glare. So these are some things which the simulation helps us to analyze, helps us to find out. We can find dead spots and all that. Of course,
I agree with you.
Yeah, the layout as such is frozen. but still we feel in terms of the utilities, we can contribute in terms of doing the simulations and calibrations. So we have done similar work for VIT Vellore, where their Vellore School of Planning and Architecture is the first institution building rated under IGBC green buildings.
All right.
So,
how much did you achieve between baseline parameter for daylighting, let us say, and what you achieved? What was delta?
So for daylighting, they don't have a baseline parameter. In daylighting, they just have a range in which you have to fall under. But for energy, the Vellore School of Architecture, it has many passive systems as well as kind of hybrid systems. There we were able to achieve almost 30% reduction in energy consumption. They have done evaporative fresh air cooling systems, radiant slabs, and they have centralized chillers. So yeah, they did it quite comprehensively. So they have 30%
from design.
Yeah, from the.
I'm surprised if they have done from design. Why would it only be 30%? I'm surprised. You're covering all, right? Lighting, motors, pumps, passive cooling, active cooling, right?
Yes.
All you're covering. And yet you're saying you got only 30% on the
30% from
baseline.
From the baseline, yes. So it's a institutional building.
See, going back to daylighting, my problem is this. I know that the rating system, whether it is here or in the smaller ones there. See, remember that you keep talking LEED, but LEED is done not even 2% of the total green building footprint in India, right? Same goes for Briha. There is 94.3%, which has gone for IGBC only, right? Why?
Right.
Why are they going for it then, right? Now, the aspect is not about which rating offers what as baseline, but the point is, there is a baseline. If I am talking of a regular conventional building, we know what the daylighting levels will be at some 13%, 14%. Yes. What are you willing to achieve? I mean, can help in achieving when it comes to what the building itself will be, post simulations, etc. Any ideas that you can offer me on that? Because that's a critical element here in this building.
Yes, sir. One thing that we should look at is, see, IGBC, I don't know about the green worship, but in as far as new buildings concerned, they are still following this methodology known as lux levels. Whereas lux levels are predominantly meant for artificial lighting. Now ECBC has moved to what is known as uniform daylight, useful daylight illuminance, UDI, useful daylight.
Yeah.
That talks about the lighting range in which you can actually carry out some work or whatever is the work that you're doing. So
that is from your professional point of view.
Yes.
What happens at the commercial level is the building user or the owner, he understands lux easier. Though we explain it at lux levels and the commercial language.
Yes.
Internally, if you say I will borrow from ECBCs, why even Griha has got some excellent guidelines for this, right?
Yes.
So you have to see how we draw. That is only for the profession, what you call calibrated parameters, right?
Correct.
For such things we can use whatever else as method. ECBC, the people who are involved in it. Some people from Ahmedabad involved, not university, but other people there. Many others have come into ECBC's doing. It's a more rigorous system. I completely agree with you. So we'll have to draw from there while we do the certification here with IGBC.
Yes, we'll have to draw from there. Yes.
Yeah, you have to see how you drop. Seek from each of those other menu options that we get from the.
Yes, sir. So it will. In this case, IGBC is going to be only the end result. So when we are doing the actual work, we'll have to look at not only say IGBC's various other ratings, but we'll also have to look at Griha or ECBC, maybe some of ASHRAE, and also there may also be a situation wherein there is no basic guideline at all. So let us say, for example, when we did this helicopter factory, there is no guideline which says what you should do for a helicopter factory, right? What is the daylight that you need? So it's just what the client says and kind of talking to the clients and getting their ideas and all that. So their base function cannot be impeded either. So in that perspective, we will have to study, look at some research papers maybe and see how best we can do. The only thing is the point that I wanted to make was that we'll do the simulation not only for the sake of IGBC, but to kind of give real benefits to our clients. So in terms of seeing how that can benefit them. So that capability we feel we have. Yes, sir. So that is something. Then moving on, this is something which we have been constantly evolving is in terms of templates. So what happens is when it comes to a large scale project, you need some standardization. So there is standardization in steel codes, standardization in safety norms, there is standardization in various other factors that they follow, including bill of quantity and everything. But there's no standardization in terms of green measures. Say, for example, how do we keep track of the green measures that you're? So that day when you showed me the Excel sheet, I was quite happy to see that, because that is something nobody does. How do you keep track of it? You have to do something. You have to check, keep on constantly checking. We have also, some of the projects we have set up a system of appointing people known as green officers. These people are civil or mechanical engineers who are qualified in IGBC or LEED or Griha, and they are capable of managing it at the site level. So consultants mostly they say, and then it doesn't get done. So that we wanted to avoid. So we have done similar work, especially in some government projects. We have done Military Engineering Services Kochi, Command and Control Center for Corporation of Chennai, Integrated Command Control Center for Greater Chennai Police. For these three projects, we have worked on standardized templates which have been included as part of tender documents themselves, wherein we have said that you have to follow these templates if you are to be bidding for this particular project as part of the tender. And the Command and Control Center in Corporation of Chennai has been very successful in that way, and it's still ongoing, but it's going to get completed very shortly. And the same system we have been trying to emulate in things going forward. Of course, it does cost a bit more for projects as compared to standard consultancy work, but on the whole, we feel that the projects have been very happy to kind of take this sort of work up, and they have also have a very good record of the things that have gone into it, so that if tomorrow there is a modification or there is any change, then it's just a matter of going back to the template and cross-checking what was there. I will.
Yeah, this is the second time, Krithika, you're mentioning the CCC the second time now, and I'm glad you put it here. See, there are two parts to any such command center, right? One is data collection. That is a complicated process. How do I digitize at the endpoints of use, right, of water or energy?
Yes.
Mainly,
Yes.
And of course, in the city's case, they would have also talked, brought in mobility and density of traffic, etc., right?
Yes.
Now, the other is the application software that you use. What have you used in Chennai, or was it outsourced by GCC?
For the tracking of the command and control center, sir.
Yeah, that is in the command center. They have to have some application software in order to see that.
It's this building is under construction. For the application
you have
software,
not started.
No, they have not started. No, they have started the work. There is a small command control center inside Ripon building, which is already
agreed.
In that, I don't know about what they are using, but they have been talking to TCS, is what I've heard. For setting up.
I see. Because Wipro came in and did something at some small cost for somebody else here. One more green city here.
Okay.
And I have been speaking to Wipro also, apart from one or two other companies, with ex-Wipro people. Okay.
Okay.
So now their challenge is they're saying, see, we will give you the application software. We will also guide you on what you should have as a cloud server. Okay. Separately. And that cloud thing will be either an annual cost or will be some hardware, blah, blah.
Yes.
But what they will not own is the data itself and the collection of data. Okay.
Yes.
That process of data collection is the challenge when I'm talking a big city like say Chennai.
Yes.
However, when I come to a Mayapur, this is more manageable to my mind. We have to set up. Of course, we have to set up sensors in some various places where we have discharge, either energy discharge or water discharge. Okay, we'll have to work on that. I've got some ideas, but it's too early to sort of take it up.
Yes.
But we will have to discuss at some point.
This one, they're just taking it up. I know they spoke to TCS. I don't know about Wipro. Maybe they have.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I will find out that these are the things which I have the capability of finding out. So.
Right, and if they do want to speak to Wipro, I can enable that. It's a wonderful idea.
I will.
For them to check out which is best of.
Which is the best of. Okay.
Deliverables.
Yeah.
Blah.
Okay. That is very kind of it, sir. I'll let them. Okay. Thank you. So same way, even Greater Chennai Police is setting up their own command control center. They also have similar.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That is already set up. Chennai Police thing is running for I think the last 4-5 years.
No, they are now coming up with a bigger building. That is just ground water. So it is going on.
Correct. They had. They are revamping that. Is it what they had?
Yeah, the one which is there is not sufficient to manage Chennai. So they're building a bigger one.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay, go on,
so that's been going on. So I will show you some of the templates once this PPT is over. Then training and capacity building, we feel that awareness is very important, is the first step to enlightenment, as Krishna says, not our UVK Krishna, but that Krishna. So keeping that in mind, we have so far, I must have conducted some 60-70 workshops, maybe even more. I have done workshops for project teams, construction teams, site supervisors, operation team, you name it, we have done a workshop. So we have a large repertoire of sample photographs, workshop slides and all that, which we can consolidate and evolve to do similar training and capacity building on ground. Because we need each and everyone to be invested in this, so for this to be successful. So it will not just be in terms of we telling something and they doing something. So they have to believe in this as well, so that at least to some extent, so that things start moving and things start happening. And some of the work has been done for Chettinad Hill City. We have done 3 or 4 workshops for Chettinad Hill City alone. Asian Paints have done 4 to 5 workshops. HAL, CPWD, we always do workshops. VIT, SRM and all that. So these workshop and sample slides and all are ready to go. If you call me for a workshop tomorrow, I can come and conduct it. So in that fashion, we have a lot of a big stock of stuff, which is good to go. Then
what kind of capacity building? If I'm talking, say, managers, not down the line. I mean, I'm not training, therefore, capacity building. Give me an example of the kind of capacity building you will do if they are, let us say, 6 to 8, 10 managers of that kind.
Okay, let us say we have.
It's also possible that they have some PMC officers there, let's say.
Sorry?
PMC officers also will be there. Yeah.
Right. So,
give me an example.
Yes, sir. So, one of the biggest challenges that you will face with managers, 2 biggest challenges, I feel. One is documentation. They do their job, but they never document it at all. That is one thing. And the other thing is, and in terms of following the requirements that are written down in paper. So many of these people would have worked on different projects and they must have done things in one way. So they, though we give them, documents and drawings and say, do A, B, C, D, F, G, H, sometimes you'll find they are doing some things. So these things are not done out of malice or anything like that. These things are done because that's how they have been trained to do it. So we have to break through that cycle of just doing things the way they have done so far and get them to realize the importance of why we are doing this green certification or green measures or whatever. So we, when we do the capacity building, we show them some slides, then we present them with some workshop kind of papers or something like some small worksheet kind of thing, where they think about the project that they are working on and then see what are the problems and what can be the solutions. And these problems and solutions need not be restricted to only say green measures, but they can be overall general problems also. So let us say safety. Sure. Safety is a major issue. Safety is a requirement of IGBC also. You have to follow NBC norms for safety and security. They expect so much of photographs and all that. But how far does it get carried out? And when you go talk to laborers on the side, the laborers say, no, I don't want to wear the helmet because my hair is sweating. If I wear the helmet, I'm not comfortable. And of course, India weather is not at all comfortable for working outside. So what are the ideas that you can do? What are the can you institute some breaks? Can you look at some ventilated helmets, or what are the things that you can do? Can they be allowed to not wear helmets when they are not working on certain particular places? And then have you given some water points for them so that they can stay hydrated, so they don't sweat so much? Can they just kind of go and stand under some shower or something like that? So these kind of ideas we get the project teams to think about for themselves, and also we support them with research work and all that, and show them that these things can be done provided they are willing to put the effort into it. And we have found when we do these kinds of workshops that everyone becomes very involved. People like to propose solutions for problems. They want to say, I know an idea which will work. And then when that happens, then once they have become invested in their own idea, then things start actually to move and get working. So earlier projects where they might not have done, say, even 50% safety, now they are following up to 80%, which is we feel is a step in the right direction. We don't expect 100% for everything, but can you go one step ahead? So these kinds of workshops we have conducted, and we are willing to conduct also here. Of course, we may have to break it down into multiple workshops. We have conducted consolidated workshops also for smaller projects, but here we might have to break it down for construction supervisors, project managers, maybe the utilities people, mechanical, electrical people, operational staff. Separate workshops have to be done.
See, the other thing that you mentioned, earlier you mentioned about plan, the sort of template I was showing yesterday. See, that is, what we are finding is even a work schedule with time frames are not drawn up. Right? See, I keep telling people, don't worry, put a time. If it fails, it fails. Planning is always about failing. But we have to keep planning. Plans are essential, planning is essential while plans may fail, right? But no matter what reassurance we give them, they don't do it. They don't want to sort of put any date and get committed. See, this one is a critical element. See, in this case of the temple, Krithika, we have only maybe about 30 months aggressively. Right. I will say maybe 36 months. Okay. We have, as I told you, what I told you, about 3 lakh square feet of new work to be taken, specifications we've done, blah, 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 and they are not working on it yet, right? So as I told you, there is I'm sure you took cognizance of that, there is this initial round of what we have to do for the pre-certification itself, right?
Yes.
And then, as you said, we have to set all these calibrated parameters in a way that we bring good practices to the project and what is left of it. See, what is done is done. We are not going to regret. We are not going to tell anybody you got it wrong or right. Going forward, therefore, I keep telling myself, and I'm glad you're also saying now, that was the emphasis in our last conversation also. Training, capacity building. Training, capacity building. And this is not like once done. It's like eating every day. We are constantly be pushing it. Keep that in mind. Yeah. And how do we plan for that? What are resources you need to put into it? What kind of workshops? A workshop is not enough. People listen, they don't talk, they don't engage. And 1 week later, you're seeing, or 1 month later, you're seeing they're doing nothing. It's like a kutte ki dome, doesn't change. Anyway, okay. Over to you. Keep that in mind. This is one problem I'm finding in every project. Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is not only this project, it's a problem everywhere. Even large organizations like L&T, whatever. So everyone has this thing. Yes, sir. So training and capacity building is something we are very keen on, which we have been doing very constantly also, which is something I feel if one person is convinced also, I'm happy. So it really helps. And of course, we have to brainstorm together for ideas and innovations. You already spoke to me about pilgrim management, crowd management, and all that, and identifying the unique problems that come at TOVP and Mayapur, and then finding green solutions for them. So that is, we will have to conduct multiple brainstorming sessions, not only just among the three of us, but among lots of other people who are much more qualified for this. Yeah. Some of the things
lots of other management people.
Yes, there are lots of other management. So one thing we did work with Chettinad Health City was to develop comprehensive bicycle management. They do have a thing that till only 1 point cars are allowed. That goes for doctors, nurses, anybody, patients, everyone. So cars are allowed only till 1 point. Then after that, you have to go by either their EV or by through bicycle. And they purchase some 500 plus bicycles and they're managing it and all that. So we've helped them to develop through that and work it out. Then
what is the land extent of that place?
Almost 100.
What is the land?
100 acres. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no EV charging stations.
Yeah, it's there. Everything is there. Yeah, everything is there. EV charging is there. Bicycling is there. They have EV vehicles also, including recently they bought an EV ambulance also, if I'm not wrong, which is a unique thing.
Sure.
So all this is going on. Then similarly in Beach Park, we have worked with radiant slabs. Vellore is very hot. So especially during the summer, it goes above 40. So they wanted to do radiant slabs. We have done that. Help them to do that. There's a project called Deco Accessories where we have worked with them to develop more than 5% of the land area to produce organic food. So that is something I think even Mayapur can look at in terms of farming, producing. It need not be like
already is there.
Already is there, and we can enhance that, make it more comprehensive, and see how it can. Maybe it can even be monetized. Is something that we can look at. And the Xenon Futuristic Station, there's a comprehensive solar system on the canopy. In Asian Paints, we have worked with them for butterfly parks and Miyawaki Forest. They have 2 Miyawaki forests and a butterfly park. So we don't want
Krithika,
to just do,
Krithika, you are professional. You are guiding so many people. People are ignorant and gullible. This Miyawaki, I'll send you a note. Please do not recommend Miyawaki to anybody. Right? It works in those particular conditions of Japan and its latitude. Even in Tokyo, I mean, even in, I think in Honda, one of those automobile cities, they have cities like that, right?
Yes.
In some one prefecture like that, it has failed, right? This Miyawaki is a money-making racket that 2 or 3 of these fellows have got, right? Please ban it. In IGBC, we have taken it up seriously. We are banning it. You know, that is, if somebody comes up and says we are putting a Miyawaki, we are saying no points, right? So please remember, see, you are responsible people. There are companies which stick to it because you told them. Same Asian Paints, go and check it 3 years from now and see the health of that blessed forest. It will not grow because you cannot, human beings cannot duplicate the complexity of biodiversity that a natural forest can do. What is this Miyawaki forest? Please don't recommend it, Ma. Forget about, Mayapur and what we are talking today, but I'm saying this in your own interest. Yeah.
Understood. I'll send you a note. I will take it up, sir. I will take it up with Asian Paints. Definitely. In Asian Paints, they didn't do it through an agency. They did it by themselves. They just planted trees near to each other, basically. Yeah.
See, I'll tell you what they would have done. They would have got one small patch done by one of those fellows, that Bengali fellow is there, na, Shubhendu or something, right?
Some Karnataka fellow.
Bangalore only, but he's a Bengali chap. You know, that fellow never used the word Miyawaki, but started first and called it something else, right?
Okay.
He was copying Miyawaki model, right? Then came another fellow who has called it Miyawaki and he is doing. That's the second fellow, right? Both are doing the same disaster. See what happens, any company, they'll take, because it's very intense on cost with those fellows, they will do first one 5,000 square feet with them, then they will replicate. That's what Asian Paints would have done.
Yes.
I can also check with Asian Paints. I'm meeting
No,
one of the fellows.
it was done actually, to my knowledge, first Saint Gobain had done it. So these people are just behind Saint Gobain. So they went and saw what Saint Gobain did, and then they did the same.
My God.
Yeah.
I must talk to that other fellow in Saint Gobain, whatever his name is, Venugopal. That design head, what is his name? I forget just now. Anyway, there's one chap there. We'll have to talk to somebody like that and see that they also stop. Venugopal only. He heads design there, right? I'll talk to him anyway. See, that's what. This is the problem with such things, in the name of sustainability, then we will earn a bad name. All of you as green professionals, you will earn a bad name.
Got it. Okay, got it, sir. I'll keep that in mind. I'll talk to Asian Paints also. Okay, right, sir. So this is just to conclude. So we have we feel that we have the capability, we have the drive, we have the initiative. So lovely. Thank you for having the belief in us. And I'm happy to answer any questions, show you any examples if you want to see.
Over to you, Krishna.
Thank you. I have some reflections, Krithika.
Sure,
it's well done.
Thank you.
And fundamentally, I'm happy that you have recognized that it is the exercise that we are talking is beyond IGBC rating.
Right.
We need to be a role model, and we have to keep that in top of the mind. We have Mayapur has to be a role model for the rest of the world.
Right.
That is how it is taken. This is a rating is sort of incidental. That's all. Okay?
Yes.
So any work that you do in contribution would be highly valuable for bringing in sustainability measures, known or unknown, to the fore. Okay.
Yes.
That will be the biggest contribution from your side.
Right.
Then the second one is with respect to the project management. You need to showcase, you said you'll show some templates, we'll see that also just now.
Yes, yes.
What is important in that is, for a project of this nature is two fundamental things. You need to bring about very clearly the cost and time efficiencies that are being brought about by this intervention.
Okay.
Otherwise, we don't need project management for the sake of project management. We are not tick marking something. We are very clearly, bringing about saying it by virtue of engaging us or through our, professional association. This is what is bringing about. Find a way of tracking that cost and time efficiencies. And you also, and in the in your experience shelf, what you need to show is, you need to go back and then see in none of your projects the cost and time overruns have been there. Okay. If you can bring about that, that's a very, very plus point. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I went to Jamnagar about 15 years ago, or even to Reliance.
Okay.
We went with one exotic, American steam engineering solution.
Okay.
The VP projects are only one thing. I can do anything, efficiencies. It can be the world's best, as long as you are not increasing the time and cost of my project. Period.
Okay.
So he said, I don't mind doing anything wrong, but I don't want something exotic. But this is a cardinal principle. We want to do that. So please bring out nicely in your capability statement in terms of your project management ability. Okay.
Got it, sir. Okay.
Now, I'm very happy about your capacity building and awareness and training. As Dr. Hariharan was mentioning, it is a need of the hour in this particular place, because I think there are passengers. Many of them are there at the management level and in the execution level also. Okay. And so we need to make sure it is constantly done, perhaps ahead. And let's find a way of infusion of this, to make sure the best interest of the project itself. This is a big requirement. Okay.
Yes. That is something that I feel I should even develop further from what we are doing right now. I will have to take support from you and Dr. Hari and see what we can, how we can do it much more. We have to take it to a much higher level than what is going on.
Yes. Now, for the sake of statutory compliances, etc., they may get everything tick marked and then proceeded with, and so on and so forth. But my gut feel is there is, there's a lot to be done there. Okay. And I know it costs money. I know it costs, in term for them also to get these things organized, but it has to be done. There is no option. I think we as, knowledgeable professionals and having exposure to different projects and different countries and so on and so forth, we need to bring it to the fore.
Yes, sir.
They don't take it up, it is there, look out, but I think we have to bring it up, into the fore. Take, for instance, the, construction management. While bulk of the construction is over, I'm talking the TOEP, okay?
I saw the pictures, yes.
Yeah, while the thing is over, yet I think, the finishing work that is required is, tremendous. Especially the interior decoration and the beautification of the place and so on and so forth. Now, I don't think they have any plan in place in terms of, the waste management, okay, or the packaging materials or whatever, okay.
Right.
This is something which is you need to keep in mind.
Immediately we have to, yes.
Yes, okay.
Got it,
same
got
thing,
it.
yeah, same thing we need to do for safety. Okay.
Safety. Yeah.
Yeah. The other day, in fact, one of the site managers, he was locked in, got himself locked in a single man lift. Okay. Oh. And the area, that floor is, access door, activated. Okay.
Okay.
There was no way anybody could have imagined that he would have gone to the elevator at all. That's not in use. He went there for testing and unfortunately he went alone. And actually, he would have been imprisoned if it is anywhere, in the developed world for having committed such a nonsense. Okay. God helped him, that after a struggle of about 2 hours or so, there was a single band on the, internet. He could somehow send a message. After 3 hours, he was rescued. Okay.
Oh.
Yes. Now there is no safety. This is only an indication. There is no safety there. I know it doesn't come under the rating, etc., etc. But I think this is some of the value add stuff we need to at least bring it to the fore for them to, take it forward.
Yes.
The next one is on the SOPs. Standard operating procedures need to be done for a variety of things, and that we need to be, if we can play a role or at least show them the agencies or the companies or the people who can help them on that, we need to do that, which is actually absent now. Okay, at zero level. This is with respect to compliance as well as monitoring and tracking has to be there.
Yes.
This is something, a big need there. I am aware some of these things like safety, construction waste management maybe to some extent green rating,
yes, yes.
But these ones are not necessarily related to rating, but we are talking of I think a holistic scenario, because we are talking of a role model kind of a thing being, what we are projecting for TOP.
Yes, sir.
And, even a thing like procurement, let us say, they don't have anything on life cycle cost assessments, and bulk of the utilities they bought, they've already expired in terms of warranty periods. Okay. They have not negotiated with the AMCs. I know this, these companies would charge them a bomb for getting into AMCs and so on and so forth. So these are the things that, they would require our help in the overall, not necessarily, as I said, green rating, but I think, pertinent. That's where I think they will see value in what we're interviewing. Okay. Hari, I'm done.
Right. Krithika, do you want us to sort of share screen and show us some semblance of those templates and indicators?
Yes, sir.
That we get an idea of what you talk about.
Yeah, I will show you.
Right.
So first, I'll show you. These are some of the site green measures trackers that we are following in projects, especially in terms of collecting photographs. What we have noticed is once we ask someone to photograph something on a regular basis, let us say I want a 3-meter barricade or a wheel washing area or a tree barricade, and if I tell them you have to send this to me every week, then over a period of time they end up doing it regularly, because when they have to take a photo for me, at that point of time they have to make it ready. So if it is ready, then might as well manage it as it is. So this is something which we have done. So we have site measures, photographs, various photographs. Then we have materials tracker. We have what is the material, what is the required specification, have we approved it, what is the make and model, what is the document we need from them. So this based on the project particularly, we prepare this tracker and then send that across to them, and that covers as much items as we can. So including, utilities and all that. Then we are following construction waste materials. We are forcing them to follow water consumption during the construction phase, especially in terms of curing water and all that. Especially lots of construction people either take it from borewells or they buy lorries. So that's actually, we want to track that water also. Construction electricity we are tracking. So this is just a sample.
For example, on construction water, there is, I'll send you if you like a presentation by a wonderful man called Sandeep Naran.
Okay.
In fact, I am going to invite him to look at Mayapur's building temple also.
Okay.
To see how we can install methodology for mapping. In this case, construction water is all done over, right?
Yes.
But air quality on construction sites is a challenge. You know, the dust level, painting is going on, flooring is going on, some grinding and cutting of marble is going on. You know the amount of whatever. Right?
Yes, a lot of water.
And they use some very basic, very stupid masks they use. Poor chaps. They all suffer lung, cancer at some point of time. Now, for air pollution, I want to see if you can set. But there is a project in Surat started by the Surat administration.
Okay.
About 160,000 square feet or so, 17,000 square meters. And that building, Sandeep is now advising them on both construction water and air quality management during construction. I am not talking post-construction.
Post-construction.
Yeah, so we will see why I'm bringing that up is, if you go back to your previous slide, that's too elementary, Mark, this construction water. I don't know if you know.
This is a smaller project. So obviously, we have done it. This project we will manage it in a more comprehensive way.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yes,
I'll tell you why I'm saying. You go back to what Krishna said about time and cost efficiency. See, for example, air level, what is it called? Your air quality level. If we were to say that carbon level cannot exceed 300 during construction, and we put 300, whatever, we put meters for that, and ensure that these fellows have some suction systems, whatever that is, in order to bring in fresh air and to blow out the dust and whatever. Example, I'm saying, we'll talk to Sandeep and he will have some ideas also as to what we can do, right? See, finally, it's not about one individual. That one idea might come from one Krishna or one me or somebody like that. But the doing is to do with all professionals like you or Sandeep or many others like that. Correct. So that is one aspect. I thought I want you to sort of,
Yes, sir. We have to brainstorm templates for this project. It's not going to be only about what is already there.
See, I'll for example, when I see topsoil and plants and such things, one of the things I want to do is to see that we propose ID tagging for all the plants that they already have.
ID tagging. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
The moment I do that, I put some 4 or 5 parameters. I don't have to look for photographs. My smartphone will give me the data every day as to which gardener did not do his job.
Yes.
I've not even put it yet. I have some 58 project heads, as I told you. I've not even put this yet there. Why? Because there is too much already and people are waking up to what they need to be doing there. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So this is a construction template. These are some other templates that we follow in terms of collecting, project team information, then
Correct.
The kind of electrical information, what and all we are doing. These and all are for some of our Bangladesh projects, basically. So whether they have what are
this
the,
is okay. This they will have. Krithika, what our UEK was asking for is kind of reporting and logging of data that they have to do of the progress. Yeah, for example, something like this is it per zone overall.
No, this one is lighting power density.
This won't work. What was it won't work? Yeah. So you have to, I'm not seeing anything here of that kind. Krishna, any thoughts from you? When you say templates, na Krishna, what are you looking for? You know what are you and I looking for?
See, we need to say these templates are useful. Okay.
Yeah.
That message has to come.
These are not templates. Sorry, Krishna. These are not templates. She's just showing us a list of things. This they also have.
Yeah.
How do I get templates for, say, for instance, they work on lighting today, indoor lighting.
Okay.
They work on the HVAC that they are doing, marble work that they are doing. You know.
Okay.
What are the parameters that I give them, and what is, without complicating it? Because if I give them something too difficult, bureaucracy will block it, right?
Correct.
But we need to map progress. We need to map quality, time, cost, quality, right? TCQ has to be marked.
Right.
That needs some very, very simple templates. If necessary, we'll have to put it in some Hindi or Bengali so that the fellow will fill it up.
Got it.
Right?
Yes. That will probably be kind of some printouts or a whiteboard or something like that, which is there on the site that is being filled up.
No, that also doesn't work now because the head of the project is not going to go and see it on site. Something is on some 5th floor, let us say. You're not going to see it on the chalk on the marker board. We need something that is sort of digitized. The fellow fills in some detail and sends it back. It's like, I know that there are some apps like that, application software like that.
Right.
Simple ones,
Yeah.
It's like, if you walk into a hotel today, you know what they do. They take your order on the phone. And everything else is processed.
You scan a QR code, you can do it, yes.
Exactly. So we'll have to set some things like that for the key teams. I don't know how many teams are there. We'll have to get into all that at some point in time. Keep that in mind. See, we'll have to see. That is work that we will need, not this. This listing will not help us. Photos, okay, good idea. Photos they are doing, in many places. I'm saying not here.
Okay.
We have to keep that in mind and see how that is the edge that we will offer. And along with that is evolved on the basis of business, time, cost, and I'll add one or two more dimensions to that. How do I also ensure that supply chain training is offered in a way that any material I want to buy has to meet certain parameters? If I'm going with any green rating, they will say within 500 kilometers for materials. But that's too simplistic, I'm taking that example for you to know we have to set parameters for supply chain, right? For example, it can be an embodied energy. For example, it can be that, okay, if I buy this particular cement, which is certified like this by somebody or the other, then, I might get a little more efficiency on the embodied, right? Correct,
right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Something like this.
Sorry, Shami. Yeah, something like that. If I were to green grow, correct. Absolutely. So we'll have to make that into some simple template. If we give them complicated, they will say all this high factor falutin stuff will not work. The other dimension, apart from cost, time, and supply chain, is post-occupancy efficiency with whatever I'm installing. I'm buying some material, I must know what my FM costs are later. That they will not do. They will say, we are engineers, we are doing the specification. But we have to sensitize them to that, at the senior management levels, at manager levels at least, so that they are able to ensure that post-occupancy parameters are also met with documentation.
Correct.
When I say post-occupancy, I mean energy efficiency. I mean cost per square foot of maintenance, everything, right?
Yes. So in that,
for example, today,
Sorry,
for example, a certain HVAC installation, they have already adopted, bought everything over. How do I ensure that the maintenance of that is going to be? That HVAC itself will mean 52 to 55% as electricity consumption, right? Energy consumption.
Yes.
So how do I ensure that I do some retrofits for whatever they have bought in order to bring energy efficiency there on the HVAC? They have 630 TR of water, fortunately water-based CTs. Now, how do I bring top-up water for it without them having to use borewell and softener, right? They don't even know anything else. That is their current problem, which is so in every project today. 99% of our projects, when they say water-based, they will say softener, sir. And they'll buy one stupid ion exchange or they'll buy one Thermax, correct?
Correct.
I'm sure you also do that, right? How do I give top-up water for CTs without having to use from water from outside, but from within the wastewater system itself, so that I achieve net zero water? That is part of post-occupancy to me. You got
Right,
it?
sir. Yes, yes, sir. So this requires brainstorming. Can't be just simply done. We have to think.
No brainstorming. See, I'm saying these are all, we are doing it right now.
We
Krishna and I are
doing
doing some 6 or 7 projects like that for top-up CTs, right?
Yes, sir.
Cooling towers need it. You know, there's no way I can
Yes.
get off from it. But
Correct. Correct.
you know what? Why you go to your own? What you said you are doing some work on that. What is it called on Capital Land? They have
Yes.
gone and put air-based systems. You know
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes.
And then they say air-based I put because you know my energy consumption is less. Ridiculous argument, you know. And then they will get green certification. You get it?
Yes, sir. Please.
Anyway.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like Krishna said, you need to evolve some other templates. See,
Right.
like we told you the first time also, last time when we spoke,
Right.
a lot of learning will happen for you also, working with Krishna.
Yes. 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 Yes, sir. That is something I really look forward to. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is.
Okay.
Right, sir. So these are some tender terms that we have developed for various projects in terms of ensuring that it becomes part of conditions of the contract. So instead of just simply doing something, so if we have even a HVAC contractor or someone, these become conditions so that they are duty bound to follow.
Yeah.
So at least you can hold something on their head.
See, each of these sections now, 1, 2 separate, 3 separate, each of them is a workshop.
Correct.
For who? For the PMC fellows.
Correct.
The PMC fellows here are handling this project like it is a 1985 project. They have no, I mean, they're burning packaging waste, Krithika. This is 1980, if you ask me. Cruel it is, horrible it is, right? Nobody to ask them. That is what we want to do. See, the managers here at the Dham itself, they are all very sincere, but they don't know what to ask. We have to enhance and enable this for them. Yeah, we have to help them know what to ask of the PMC. We don't want the PMC to be trained. It is their life, let them do what they like.
Correct.
But our people who are committed, yeah, exactly. Correct, na Krishna?
True.
See, let us say Savana and Prabhu, some other people there, all of them are trained properly. Trained means sensitized. See, it's not like they need training. They need sensitizing. See, something like this, what she is showing, will help them understand what they will ask of the PMC. That's all. Correct. PMC doesn't want to do, we will say you shape up or you ship out, they will say. Who? Mayapur management will say. Correct. That is not up to us. That is up to their co-directors, whoever they want to do, right?
Correct.
But we will set the ecosystem for it with people like professionals like Krithika and say.
See, Krithika, one more observation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What I would think is the immediate need is one, the great rating system, getting evaluated and getting rated.
Yes.
For that, what is it that is required for them to comply, document, present, and all that? It's a urgent and a specific need that is there.
Yes.
Then post that, it's a pre-certification. Post that, let's say the intent is bought by these management here. Next 18 to 24 months time until the temple opens, at least, there would be scores of items, all of which require some military kind of discipline in terms of following up what is being done and not being done, etc. On top of it, these holistic interventions and ideas are there. That's a bonus. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hari. what is the help that is required from Krithika's agency is that is, you and I don't have time for this. We just want to make sure that the compliance is, on track and, done the best way. Both the rating and post rating for about 18 to 24 months. Correct, Hari? Please.
Post pre-certification,
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Very
So
correct.
I think, and the next step of scoping of the association, Krithika, that is what will be drawn up. Okay. All the other ones that are there, which are holistic ideas, they're all bonus, I would say. Okay. But they're not very critical to this, because if this certification and the work required as a compliant requirement for the certification that they have brought is something that they would measure us, and saying how is it,
so
what is it.
End of the day, they are going to pay us for the certification. I understand that. Yeah.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah.
See, one thing I will add, Krithika, to what our DVTs have said. It's not that it is a question of our bandwidth and time alone, right? It is like, see, you are a digital age generation, right? We are an analog age. It's like we are coaches, but somebody else has to run the 10 seconds, 100 meters, correct?
Okay.
Now, a lot of the, these templates, which you didn't show us today, are vital to raising efficiency and discipline in the execution. Forget about green, right? That is critical if they want to secure proper certification at the end with 90 points. I am not interested in some 40 points. They have all agreed also. 40 points, I know we'll get some whatever certification here, reverend and all that, right? But that's not what we want.
Correct.
You get that?
Yes, I get it.
We have to be a role model for the world, and it has to be beyond rating. What Krishna said in the beginning today. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So this is what we want. Please remember this. Otherwise, we are not on. It doesn't work for us. For me and Krishna, because we are advising them, and they are bringing a lot of faith and trust in us. And I want to also. I'll tell you why I want to do. There's not a rupee for Krishna or me in this. We want to do it because it sets a global model for India also. Because this kind of a size of a temple, as well as of the rest of the infrastructure, etc., is not done anywhere else, right? And here we have 1 crore people coming every year. What you wrote in the beginning, first thing that you wrote in your first slide, about what? About outreach and impacting the people who come there, etc., pilgrims and all that. Vital. We have to evolve things for that. Signages is the simplest part. But more than that, what are the other things I will do? How do I interface, this kind of, I'll call it smartphone technology, in a way that I am driving home the message to people? There is a creative content part also to that. That is not your job, But we have to find the right people to create the content, and then to see that we drive it with applications. As software goes, right?
Understood. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. This global recognition, whatever you wrote, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wonderful. That's it, I think, from my side today. Next
Thank
step.
You, sir. Next steps you have
you'll have to send us. Yeah, I'll send you a mail and we'll take it forward from there.
Okay, sir. If you want me to send some capability statement or something like that, you will let me know.
Correct. No. I'll tell you what I need from here. I'll tell you this, but we will follow it up on mails. 1 or 2 mails in the next 2 days, 3 days. Huh? We need, what is your people resource plan, your PRP? How many people for what?
Okay.
Like Krishna said now, during this first phase of pre-certification, what do you want as people? How many hours, some approximation you'll put, or number of days or whatever. Right? And then will be post-certification for a period of, well, I will say the first 12 months, renewable after. As to what you will do, what kind of people, PRP has to come for that. Broad, simple one. I'm not talking about any complicated one.
Understood.
Some basic rule of thumb sort of thing.
Okay.
Your dad is an army officer, services man. You know how such planning is done by them.
Yes.
So you get together and see how you can plan one.
Okay.
And that will tell us what is Kritika's cost. meaning her team's cost, right?
Cost. Okay.
Until then, I don't know how to move forward, right?
Got it. Okay. Okay. So
We'll complete
next step
this
is to plan.
exercise before the weekend. We must complete this exercise.
Okay. That is before today is the 18th, so before the 21st.
Well, if you can't, I mean, I don't mind you make it Monday. Doesn't matter. I mean, let's not work under any pressure. It has to be joy. If you can, otherwise you make it 23rd. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Right.
Can I get those two presentations that you showed me just to kind of understand the scale? I only noted down what you showed me, but I don't have the actual numbers.
See, I can send that to you. However, I will only say whatever you presented today, it has to come from there, right? You have said workshops. You have said, you know what you have said. I have said a few things on supply chain, etc. I can send you this recording if you like. At least the last part of whatever I have
I'm just trying to. I need some square foot rate things and all to work out resources.
I'll send you some things like
that. So just like the overall area of the Mayapur and the square footage of this. So I know you showed it previously, but yeah.
Sure. I'll send you such data. Not a problem.
Right.
I'll certainly send you such data. I'll share that.
Okay.
I think so. I don't think I'll send you a mail. You have understood what I want.
Yeah.
Put a PRP together. It helps us to see that we take a decision.
Got it.
Template models. We need that. Somewhere today it was not done.
Okay.
See what you can do to show us some templates, share screen, whatever you want to do. So that. See, if I have to sell this idea to the other people who are decision makers, and there's another vital person who will, who also has to help us make this call, right? This decision beyond Krishna. And they are not people who understand the building industry or any of these nuances, right?
Okay.
So I need to see how you are able to show some templates like that. Log sheets, you know what I showed you, some 2-3 rudimentary ones I showed you, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That's all the digital aspect, to my mind, or the process aspects, I'll say. See, we are not process people. Krishna and I are strategy people. We need process people. That's why you are coming in, right?
Right. Yes.
I mean, process efficiency, not methodology. Process efficiency is what we need.
Okay.
Please reflect on that, and if necessary, we'll take another 30-40 minute call for you to show us some such templates, even if they are ones that you have already done. Like you said, what you may want to do here may be superior to what you've done, but at least we'll know what you have got.
Got it.
Unless you say, I don't know. See, you showed by management by photos.
Yes.
Some few things like that. But beyond that, how do I make them log data of certain kinds in certain areas? On waste management, blah blah, stuff like that. Anyway, I am also not very clear as to what I want, because it's a domain I don't inhabit. You got it? I come from strategy. The process has to come from someone like you. That is what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, that's what, sir. So different projects work in different ways also. So
agree.
We found that in government projects, the tender terms are kind of the king. So if you have it in the tender document, then it is going to be done. There is that assurance.
I agree.
Whereas when you look at, say, private projects or something like that, mostly they do tend to listen to, say, if someone is being specially appointed for this. So some of our projects are having someone called as green officer. So this is one person who is stationed at the project. He's a civil engineer and a mechanical engineer, 2 people who are either IGBC or lead qualified, maybe freshers, 1 year, 2 year experience, who sit there, and those people say to these people that, see, these are the green measures that you need to do, and you need to submit these documents to me. So when that person sitting in that place keeps on saying this, then it becomes a part of the thing. That is another methodology that we can explore, or we can explore a combination methodology also. So these are some things which we'll have to a little bit, once so right now I'm talking to only you 2 people. Once I get more feel of the project, I may be able to understand how best this might work.